What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Marco, and on today's show, it's time to finally break open the set that I have been looking forward to ever since it was announced a couple of months ago. This may be my favorite set of all time, and I haven't even opened it yet, simply on the artwork and presentation alone. And if you notice, I've got the donut hat on. Shout out to my friends over at Donut Media. Absolutely love their stuff. If you're into motorsports, cannot recommend their channel enough. And no, I'm not paid to say that whatsoever. I just really like their stuff. So you know what that means. I've got the donut hat on. If you've been watching my channel for the last few months, you would know that every time this hat comes on, we are playing a racing game, and we are playing red, white, and blue racing. Today, it's finally time to start what I announced last week, which is the greatest summer of all time. We're trying to find the greatest NASCAR driver of all time, and we are doing it with the 75th anniversary tribute collection by PLAAY Games, and it finally arrived in the mail yesterday. And oh my god, I'm holding it like a little baby. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet. I mean, just look at this set, guys. Holy cow. This thing is absolutely phenomenally presented. So what it is, it's this 75, NASCAR put out their 75 greatest drivers of all time, because this is the 75-year anniversary of NASCAR this year. So what PLAAY Games did was they took that list and made the 75 greatest drivers of all time set and released the special edition set. They also released track cards to go with it as some of the greatest tracks of all time. Some of them defunct. They don't even exist anymore. Like, well, I think Rockingham came back. But, you know, there's Darlington, Bristol, Daytona, Indianapolis. They even put in some old dirt tracks from yesteryear. This pack has everything. And you know, I don't want to open this on camera, although that would make a pretty good unboxing. You know what? Let's just open this one. Let's do it. Oh, let's open it. Man, I've been waiting to do this for a long time. All right, so let's pull the set out here. And it does come with a new track layout, a larger track layout to accommodate for the larger cards, which I'm pretty excited about, to tell you the truth, because I've got fat fingers, so it's sometimes a little hard to get the old cards through the track. All right, so I just want to show you this really fast, and you'll see more of it. Oh my god, these cards they really feel amazing on nice, thick cardstock. Holy cow. So I want to show you what they did really fast before we get down to the game room, because I think it's an absolutely ingenious idea. So let me just grab a couple of drivers here to show you the differences. So yellow cards are going to be your TV drivers. White cards are going to be your regular drivers. But they went a couple of steps further with these cards, which I think is just phenomenal. So first things first, there are a few different... Oh, and I missed one here. Yeah, I missed one. Let me grab another card so I could show you. Yeah, let's grab Buck Baker here. All right, so they imagined that we got into a time capsule, and every driver in NASCAR history, the 75 greatest drivers are in NASCAR history, are all going to compete at the same time. So how they were able to pull this off, and I think it is freaking incredible, is the cards are, first of all, they're bigger, they're colorful, they're loud, they're bright, they're awesome, but the cards now face... it's a side view of the vehicle instead of a top-down, which I think is very, very clever, because when you lay it out on the racetrack, as you'll see in just a moment, they look like they're in a line. They look like they're racing in a line. But more importantly, check this out. The car styles, the body styles of the vehicles are different depending on the era that they race in. So who is this? This is Dale Jarrett, who his prime was in the 90s, right? So Dale Jarrett... And look at his car, right? That looks like a 90s NASCAR. Now look at Buck Baker in his what would that be, like the 1950s, 1960s Chevrolet? Look at that thing. And then you've got Leroy Yarborough, which is like a 70s Ford. So we're going up an extra 10 years. And then look at Herb Thomas in his old Hudson from the 50s. I mean, just incredible creativity with these cars. And like I said, they tried to stay as faithful as they could to paint schemes also. So like, look, here's Martin Truex Jr. in his paint scheme. Jeff Gordon's in another one, but that is the DuPont Chevrolet. Let me find another. Oh, good. Here you go. Rusty Wallace in his old, what did he drive? The mellow yellow Pontiac. I mean, that looks like his paint scheme. Who else do we have here? Kurt Busch in his Ford. When Kurt Busch first broke into NASCAR in, what was that, '01? That's pretty close to his paint scheme. And another thing they did, which I'll explain more when we get down to the game room, that I also think, oh, here's Brad Keselowski. That's pretty close to his, what does he run, a Bud Light or Miller Lite Ford? Another thing that they did, which I thought is pretty ingenious, and we're going to get a firsthand look when we get down to the game room, is, well, a NASCAR race is only 43 drivers. Well, there's 75 drivers that come in the pack. How is everybody supposed to race? So what they did was, and you could see in the upper right-hand corner of your card, right up here, they get a designation of white, red, and blue. Red, white, and blue. Okay, so if it's a red driver, they will automatically qualify for every single race. So who here's a red? Herb Thomas is a red driver. So they will automatically make, they won't qualify for every race, but they'll automatically make the race week activities to try and qualify for the race. And then, again, the genius of these games, the white and blue drivers, you can either run a mini race to see who makes qualifying, or you can shuffle them up and pull randomly. I've seen a couple of different variations of how you want those cars to qualify. So essentially for every race, you're going to have 40 drivers. That means 35 drivers are not going to qualify. So how do you handle that? Well, you could do a mini race, as I just said, or you could do based on the red, white, and blue designations. I mean, just this pack is absolutely outstanding in every way, shape, or form. Let me show you this too while we're here, and then we'll get down to the game room. Yeah, this intro is running a little long, but I can't find enough good things to say about this pack, and I'm pulling things apart. That's how you know that this is a live unboxing. I'm pulling this for the real first time. Look at these track cards now. So you know in the old game, not the old game, the original game, you know, it's just a black and white copy. Look at these track cards. Look at these now. Holy cow. Look how beautiful these things are. Here, we're going to pick, and this is a teaser of what we're going to race today. Let's pull out Daytona. Look at that. Look how beautiful that card is. You know, nice, colorful, and by the way, they're color coded. So the big speedways are in blue. The intermediate speedways are in red. The road courses, here's Watkins Glen. They're in yellow. Another intermediate speedway, so I guess I got that backwards. So a general speedway, which Asheville Weatherville in Asheville, North Carolina, that's a defunct track. That's a red designation. Here's Texas Motor Speedway. That's a silver or a gray designation. And then I think this is the coolest one. Let's find one here. Greenville Pickens Speedway in Greenville, South Carolina. A dirt track. They included dirt tracks. I mean, think about it. The first 20-25 years of NASCAR history was ran on exclusively dirt tracks. And this set pays tribute to it. How freaking cool is that? All right, enough of me blabbing. Let's get down to the game room. And this is a big one. This is a big race. This is, as is tradition in NASCAR racing, the first race of the year is the Super Bowl. It's the most important race. And that's, of course, the Daytona 500. So let's get down to the game room and let's get the cars ready to go to race at Daytona International Speedway for what I'm calling the greatest Daytona 500 of all time. I cannot wait. Let's go! All right, everybody, welcome to the greatest Daytona 500 of all time. So as you can see, the 75th anniversary set, it's a big track. I don't want to start the video off with a critique. This is not a critique. It's just something to keep in mind if you're thinking about buying this set. It is large. The original racetrack is one of these, essentially, maybe one and a half of these. The new racetrack with the 75th anniversary, it's two of them. I had to make a little bit of an adjustment to my setup, but like I said, for me, it works fantastic because I've got big fat fingers. I need a lot of space, and so it works really good for me. But with that being said, let's skip all the pleasantries and let's get to race day. So we have here the cards set up and ready to be sorted into red, white, and blue. If you remember during my intro that there's a few different ways that you could do race week activities. And I'm going to do it the way that is suggested. I'm not going to do a mini race. Otherwise, this might be a 2.5 hour video. And as a matter of fact, the Daytona 500 is a 50-turn race, so it's going to be a pretty long one to begin with, but I'm very excited for it. So here's your red group, and I mean, it's a who's who. Joey Logano, Bobby Allison, Terry Labonte, Joe Weatherly, Darrell Waltrip, Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, Richard Petty, David Pearson, Lee Petty, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Tim Flock, I'll save the best for last, Cal Yarborough, Herb Thomas, and of course, Buck Baker, and of course, the best for last, the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt. And what's really cool is his son is in this set too. So I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these cards upside down. I'm going to give them a little shuffle. And we'll do one more shuffle. And this is going to be our red group. So they are automatically going to make the race week activities. Doesn't mean they're all going to qualify, but they are here for race week. So we'll put them here. Now what we're going to do, get out our metallic die, and we're going to shuffle up our white colored drivers. And we are going to roll the die. And whatever the die number comes up, that number of drivers are going to miss the race week events. They're not going to make it. They didn't show up for the race. They had engine trouble, testing trouble, money trouble, who knows, but they did not show up for the race. So hopefully we get a small number here. And 4, okay, that's not bad. 1, 2, 3, and 4, which means we're going to have a pretty thick field to begin with. So who are the 4 drivers that did not make it? Dave Marcus. Oh, Rusty Wallace. No. Denny Hamlin. Oh, wow. And Red Byron. Oh, that's a gut punch. Both of those guys, Rusty Wallace and Denny Hamlin. Oh, no. Huge Rusty Wallace fan growing up. All right. Well, Denny Hamlin and Rusty Wallace, sorry to tell you, you are not going to qualify for the greatest Daytona 500 of all time. Man, that's really disappointing. I think that's 4, maybe 5 combined Daytona 500 victories between those two drivers. That's a tough pill to swallow. All right, now this is the hardest group. The blue group is the hardest group to get through because we're going to do the opposite. I'm going to roll the die, and only that number of drivers will make qualifying week. Everyone else is going to miss it. So here we go. Looking for a high number here. 8. All right, 8. That's a good number. So 8 drivers are going to make it. Wow, we're going to have a really tight field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these drivers, congratulations, you've made it to the qualifying section. Here are the drivers that are not going to qualify. Greg Biffle, Speedy Thompson, AJ Foyt, that's a big loss. Dick Rathman, Sterling Marlin, Tim Richmond, Tiny Lund, Casey Kane, Jeff Burton, Ernie Irvin, Marvin Ponch, Dick Hutcherson, Paul Goldsmith, Donnie Allison, Ryan Newman, Janet Guthrie, Bob Wellborn, Kyle Petty, all that stings, and Wendell Scott. But still a pretty stacked field to get to race week. All right, so now we've got everyone combined, and I think we only lost about 20 drivers total, so there's still going to be about 10 to 15 drivers that are going to miss the race on Sunday. All right, so let's shuffle everybody up here. Everyone, let's shuffle everybody up. We'll give it 2 more. There's 1. We'll give it 1 more shuffle. All right. Okay. Cut the deck. Now, let's find out our TV drivers. So the number I roll here is going to be the number of TV drivers. 2, that's it. Wow. So draw 2 cards. And I like to make this interesting, especially with a big deck like this. I'll roll 1 red die, and so it's going to be the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th driver down. That's 1 TV driver. We'll put that deck aside, roll it again. 2, 1, 2. All right. So pulling basically from the top of the deck, and again, just for fun, let's give these just one more shuffle. I like to keep this as random and exciting as possible. We'll put those face down. All right, so only two TV drivers at the Daytona 500, and they are Martin Truex Jr. Look at that. And the other one is Bill Rexford. All right, so only 2 drivers. So let's go ahead, and they're both white-colored drivers. So let me turn around real quick and grab the TV drivers. Only 2 of them. So this is going to be really interesting. All right, so we got to find Martin Truex, and we got to find Bill Rexford. There's Bill Rexford. That was easy. And Martin Truex Jr. So we're looking for that red and black 78 Toyota. Where's he at? Where's he at? Rexford, excuse me, Truex. Where are you at, Martin Truex? There you are. All right, so we'll put these in the out pile, and now we have our 2 TV drivers. You can see right off the bat the TV colored cars are yellow, and the rest of the cars are white, so they're still easy to distinguish in the 75th anniversary set. Okay, so now let's get our race week events guide and figure out where these 2 drivers are going to qualify. So let's roll for Rexford first and see where he goes. 61. Driver does phone-in interview on a national sports TV show. Placement C. All right, so that means Bill Rexford is, if he's a trophy driver, which he's a bronze trophy driver, he gets the blue die position in the top group. So can he get the pole? No, he will start 4th in the greatest Daytona 500 coming up. All right, Martin Truex now. I always forget to roll all 3 dice. I'll do it this time. 31. Minor altercation with next drawn TV driver during qualifying. Well, there's only 1, so he got into it with Bill Rexford. And both drivers are placement C. All right, well, placement C says trophy driver gains blue die in the middle group. So he goes from starting 5th to 14th. And Martin Truex is going to be 15th. So, man, so having the trophy driver, the TV driver did not help either Martin Truex or Bill Rexford. All right, that's it. So now let's find our fast qualifiers. You really want to be in this group. So let's see. Let's hope for a higher number. A 7. All right, that's good. So deal off 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, these are the fastest qualifiers of the weekend. So how this works is, if it's a gold trophy, they get the pole position or the highest available position in the top group, which the entire top group is still available. If they're silver, they also get the highest top group, but not the pole. Bronze driver gets the middle group, and no trophy driver, which I don't know. I don't think there's any non-trophy drivers in the greatest of all time set. They will be in the bottom group. All right, so we'll go in turn here. So if it's a gold trophy driver, he's on the pole. It is, and it's going to be Buck Baker getting the pole at the Daytona 500. Next is a bronze driver. That's Benny Parsons, so he goes to the bottom group. Bobby Labonte, another bronze driver, he to the bottom group. Harry Gant, also a bronze, he to the bottom group. Look at this, we got a wide open field. Silver driver, Rex White, he's going to be in the 2nd position. Another gold trophy driver, it's Bobby Isaac. He will start 3rd. And finally, Tim Flock, our last gold trophy driver. He will start fourth. So still a wide open field. And now the group nobody wants to be in, the slow drivers. We're looking for a low number here. You do not want to be in this group. And there's 8 slow drivers. Oh, no. And with the field this large, I think these 8 drivers are probably going to miss the field. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So once again, you don't want to be in this group. So in this group, the gold drivers in the bottom group, the silver drivers in the bubble, the bronze is in the bubble, and no trophy, which again, I don't think anyone is a no trophy. They don't qualify. So here we go. Tony Stewart, first out of the gate, a silver driver. He's to the bubble stack. Oh, wait. Yeah, bubble stack. Sorry, I'm going to make another stack down here. Next, Jimmy Johnson, silver driver, bottom group. Fonty Flock, silver driver, bottom group. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I keep screwing this up. The last 2 are silver drivers. They are not the bottom group. They are the bubble group. Only the gold trophy drivers get the bottom group. All right, Jeff Bodine, silver, bubble group. Cotton Owens, bronze. Bronze is the bottom bubble group. Joey Logano, silver. That is the bubble group. Let me just organize these here. David Pearson, gold, so he's got a bottom group. And Kyle Busch, silver, he is the bubble group. Okay, so now what we do is it's pretty academic from here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a small stack here and go in turn. So how this is going to work is gold drivers are going to be in the top group, silver in the middle group, bronze in the bottom group, no trophy in the bubble group, and we just go in turn. There's a lot of big names still out there, but this is a big stack to fill out. So let's see what happens. So Neil Bonnet, bronze driver. Man, it's hard to speak right now. Bronze driver, that is the bottom group. Joe Weatherly, he will start 8th. He's a silver driver. Richard Petty, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Gold trophy driver, he's going to start in 5th. Buddy Baker, silver driver, he will start 9th. Cale Yarborough, gold driver, he is starting 6th in the top group. Brad Keselowski, bronze, that drops him to the bottom group. Leroy Yarborough, also bronze, drop to the bottom group. Alan Kulwicki, bronze group, bottom group, bronze trophy. Kyle Larson, bottom group, bronze trophy. Terry Labonte, silver trophy. He's in the middle group. Jeff Gordon, gold. There he is, top group, starting 7th. Good old JG. Ned Jarrett, silver, starting in the middle. That's 13th. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm sorry. These got to go this way. Yep. I see. It's a tad. All right. I see that the new lineups already. It's the first time I'm playing with this. Still throwing me off already. All right. Mark Martin, gold driver, but the top group is taken, so he gets next best available in the middle group, which is 12th position. Another gold trophy driver, Darrell Waltrip. So he's starting 13th. Only 4 spots left to fill in the middle group. 2 cars left in my hand. Gold trophy is Bill Elliott. He is going to start 16th. Then Kevin Harvick, silver driver. He starts 17th. So only 2 more spots in the middle group. Getting thin now. Starting to run out of space. Matt Kenseth's a bronze. He goes to the bottom. Dale Earnhardt Jr., haven't seen his dad yet. He's a bronze. He goes to the bottom. Curtis Turner, also a bronze, bottom group. Clint Boyer, bronze, bottom group. Still looking for golds and silvers. There he is, the Intimidator. Dale Earnhardt Sr. with a silver trophy will start the Daytona 500 in 18th position. 1 more spot to fill in the middle group. It's not going to go to Ricky Rudd. He's a bronze. It's not going to go to Jim Paschal. He's a bronze. It will go to Lee Petty. He is a silver. So that's it. Our field is filled. but we still have to find the bottom and bubble groups, and there's going to be some drivers that miss out. So let's just go a little faster here. So Fred Lorenzen, silver bottom group. I'll just turn these over to make it easier. Gold, Junior Johnson, bottom group. Herb Thomas, silver, bottom group. Chase Elliott, bronze, bottom group. Carl Edwards, bronze, bottom group. All these drivers, actually, to make this really fast, all of these drivers have a trophy. So no one is going to be in the bubble group. So we'll just reverse order and put them in. And now we will try to find what the cutoff line is. So let's get our score sheet and let's start filling it out. So on the pole is 87. That's Buck Baker. Then it's Rex White, Bobby Isaac, Tim Flock, Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, Jeff Gordon. That's your top group. Then it's Joe Weatherly, Buddy Baker, Terry Labonte, Ned Jarrett, another number 11. Two number 11s there, so I'll put NJ for Ned Jarrett. Mark Martin in the 6. Darrell Waltrip, another 11, so we'll put DW for him. Bill Rexford, number 60. Truex, 78. Bill Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Earnhardt, and Lee Petty. And now let's find out who made it, where the cutoff is at. I don't think we're even going to get to the bubble group, so we'll turn these cards over. Benny Parsons made it, of course. Bobby Labonte made it, Terry's brother. Harry Gant is in. David Pearson is in. Neil Bonnet is in. Brad Keselowski's in. Leroy Yarborough. Alan Kulwicki. Kyle Larson. Matt Kenseth. Junior's in it, so dad and son back at it again. Curtis Turner. Still got a lot of spaces to go. We may get to this bubble group. Let's see. Clint Boyer's in. Ricky Rudd. Jim Paschal. Fred Lorenzen. Junior Johnson. About 5 or 6 more spots. Yeah, we're not going to make it. Herb Thomas. Chase Elliott made it. Carl Edwards made it. Dale Jarrett made it. As did Bobby Allison. 2 spots left. Kurt Busch made it. And the final spot belongs to Davey Allison. That means the following drivers, obviously the ones that aren't already out, but the following drivers missed the cut and did not qualify for the Daytona 500, the greatest Daytona 500. And they are Fireball Roberts, Jack Smith, Tony Stewart, no, Jimmy Johnson, Fonty Flock, Jeff Bodine, Cotton Owens, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch. I am so sorry. They will not be running in the greatest Daytona 500 of all time. So, with the field is set, we're ready to go. And again, the process that I just went through is the process that Keith and the fellas over at Play Games suggested, which is, I think it's very streamlined and pretty random and pretty, it's very easy, right? You sort the drivers by red, white, and blue, as I talked about in the intro. All the red drivers make it. About 6, 7, at max 12 drivers are not going to make it from the white group. And about a max of 12 from the blue are going to make it. And then you do your race week activities. And as you can see, I mean, we cut, Wendell Scott was the last cut there before we got to race week activities. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It ended up being 8 drivers did not make the cut. That's not too bad. I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, there were some big names in there, like Tony Stewart and Jimmy Johnson didn't make it, but, which breaks my heart because Tony Stewart's my favorite driver of all time. But that is, option A of doing this, because again, you're playing with 75 drivers in a field of 43 cars. Yeah, you're going to miss 23 or 22 drivers are not making, or 32 drivers are not making the field. So, the other option, and I kind of touched on it in both the intro and here down in the game room, the other option is what you could have done is you could have cut this field off at, like, let's say everyone in the, let's say 30 drivers qualify. So that would be, so where would the cutoff be? So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, I just kind of messed with it a little bit. We'll put them back. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So these drivers up to Matt Kenseth would have made the field. And then what you would have done is you would have done a mini race with the rest of these drivers. So Junior would have been on the pole, Curtis Turner would have been in second, Clint Boyer third, and so on and so forth. And you would have included these drivers in that race. And you would have done like a 10 or 15 or even 20 lap pre-race where the top 10 finishers or top 13 finishers make the main race. Again, in the best interest of time, I didn't go that route. It's all about your experience. I just did a weekend conversations video about making your own season in your own league. If that works for you and you have enough time and you want to do something like that, I think when I do my full season replay, that's what I'm going to do. But if I'm trying to make a video and I'm trying to get after it and just do something a little quicker, I'm not doing a 20 turn race just to qualify. This worked just fine. Yeah, we're gonna miss Kyle Busch and we're gonna miss Joey Logano. We're gonna miss Denny Hamlin didn't make it, and Tony Stewart didn't make it. But that's the way it goes, I guess. We get to watch Jeff Gordon, and this is who I'm really dying to see, Dale Earnhardt. And of course, Richard Petty. So that is the race week activities. Gentlemen, start your engines, because when we come back, we're going green at the Daytona 500. All right, everybody, welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. It is time to wave the green flag at the greatest Daytona 500 of all time. So let me just do some housekeeping here. Let's get our lead changes all set up and ready to go. So the 87 car of Buck Baker is going to be our first race leader. And he obviously will begin on lap 1, and then we'll have a laps led column over here. And with that, put everything aside. Actually, let me keep the score sheet up here just in the interest of space. All right, let's check everything. Everything looks good. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It is the opening lap, and right out of the gate, we have a draft. So I explained this in super speedway races. There is a mod that tells us where the draft begins, okay? There's a draft mod. I said that very poorly. There is a draft mod. So on every roll, if every time a 6 comes up, there will be a draft before you do your normal roll. So we'll make note that our first roll is going to be a duel, but we'll keep that aside for just a moment. The first roll is going to be a duel, but what's going to happen here is we're going to roll this again, and it's going to be the top group, everyone but the leader. So right out of the gate, Buck Baker could lose his lead. So here's how it works. The first driver has an opportunity to start the draft. He has to hit his gas pedal rating. For every driver, so let's say Rex White, which he does, starts the draft. We go now in order to see who joins him in the draft. Depending on how many drivers join in the draft, that's how many spaces the draft gets to move up. So if 2 drivers join, they move 1 space. If 3 drivers join, they join 2. 4 drivers is 3. 5 is 4. 6 is 5. And 6 and 7 is 5. Max of 7. So let's see. Yep. And who else is going to join? Tim Flock will join. Richard Petty will join. Cale Yarborough will join. And Jeff Gordon will join. Oh, wow. Buck Baker got caught in a wind tunnel. Essentially, Joe Weatherly will not join. So here's how it works. Because it's for the lead, Unfortunately, Buck Baker is moving all the way down to 7th place, and we haven't even done our first turn of the race, and we got a new leader in Rex White. So everybody see what happened there? If not, pause, rewind it. That is the draft mod. So now, once the draft mod is done, we go back to our original turn, which was a dual 6. So we come over to a 6. It's going to be number 6 car in the top group. Guess who it is? It's Buck Baker. So Buck Baker now is going to get a chance to challenge Rex White for the lead. If he passes gas, he does, and he gets the performance chip. So Buck Baker loses the lead, then gets it right back and gets a performance chip. Now Rex White is going to have to avoid an accident, and he doesn't. He is collected. Caution flag's going to come out. Actually, no. Caution flag only comes out, I'm sorry, if 2 cars are involved. So now we need to see if someone will get up to this top group. It's a little bit of a homebrew rule. I think it adds a lot more. So instead of just moving everybody up, we actually have to challenge and see who comes up. So Weatherly's going to try, and he's got it. So everyone else moves up a couple of spots. So everyone else moves on up. Everybody moves up. And now we do the same thing again to see who comes up from the bottom. Benny Parsons is going to get the first crack. He's in. And that's the first lap of the race. Holy cow. Actually, we're not done yet. So let's mark. So technically, Buck Baker never lost his lead because he got it back before the turn was over. So he's still the leader. Rex White now has to, he got in trouble, so, and it's the first third of the race. He's got an A pit crew, so an 11 or less, and he's fine, and he is. So Rex White, wow, talk about a whirlwind start to the Daytona 500. He went from the lead to losing the lead. He got the lead on a draft, then he lost the lead, got wrecked, but he could stay in the race, but now he's in last place. So that's turn number 1. So on we go. No draft. So now it's just a regular turn here. 1 is going to be the top group, and we're looking for skill. Well, Buck Baker doesn't have skill, but he's got 4 break bonus points. So it's going to take a 5 or a 6 to beat him. Weatherly doesn't have it. Gordon's got 2 of them. So he doesn't beat him the first time, but he gets to try again. And he doesn't pass gas the second time, so that's a failed pass. Here's Cal Yarborough. Failed the gas. Here's Richard Petty, the king. Nope. Failed to pass gas. Bobby Isaac. Nothing. So Buck Baker will hang on to his lead. 4 unsuccessful challenges. And that concludes turn number 2. Here we go. Turn 3. No draft. 5, that's going to be the bottom group, smart. So we're looking for the smart quality on the bottom group. Let's kind of move things up a little bit. Let's get our bottom group. We're looking for the smart quality. He doesn't have it. Davey Allison, no. Kurt Busch has it. And he is going for the odd driver in the number 5. So that's Earnhardt. That's Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt doesn't have the smart, but he's got 2 brake bonuses. It doesn't matter. Kurt Busch sends Dale Earnhardt to the back of the pack, and oh boy, I'm getting a little choked up here. I wonder if the ghost of Dale Earnhardt's in this room. So for those of you who know your NASCAR history, that Dale Earnhardt, of course, passed away at the 2001 Daytona 500 in that fatal accident. Well, earlier in the race, him and Kurt Busch got into a little bit of a dust-up, and the Intimidator ended up flicking off Kurt Busch in that race. So here we are in the greatest Daytona 500, and Kurt Busch, in the first challenge of the race, sends the Intimidator to the bottom group. Do you believe in ghosts? I don't know. All right, so we're looking for smart. Allison's got it. He does not pass gas. No for Dale Jarrett. Carl Edwards has it. Oh, this might be good. 4 No, excuse me, 5 odd. That's Kurt Busch again. So 1, and he's got him all day long with a 5. So Kurt Busch will go to the bottom with Dale Earnhardt, and Carl Edwards moves up. Chase Elliott is double smart, so let's see him. It's going to be 4 odd. 4 odd is Bill Elliott, and he's got 2. A 4 beats a 2, so Chase Elliott wins the challenge. Herb Thomas, not smart. Junior Johnson, not smart. Fred Lorenzen, not smart. Jim Paschal, not smart. Ricky Rudd, double smart. First challenge, doesn't pass gas, unsuccessful. He gets to go again. Doesn't pass it again and almost rolls trip. So Ricky Rudd narrowly escaping disaster there. Clint Boyer now. One's probably not going to get it done against anyone, especially against Lee Petty. So Boyer blows his opportunity. Curtis Turner almost rolls trips, but 2 might get it done. So it's the even driver in 2. That's Ned Jarrett. He's got a 1 brake bonus and not smart. That's enough. Curtis Turner makes the pass. He's up to 10th place. Junior doesn't have it. Neither does Kenseth. Kyle Larson's got it. Let's see what he does with it. Only rolls a 1. 6 odd. That's Benny Parsons. Yeah, Parsons got him, so nothing there. Alan Kulwicki is smart. He passes gas. He's going for 4 odd or 3. I'm doing this backwards. I'm sorry. 3 even. I have to remember it's this one. 3 even. So that's Darrell Waltrip. Waltrip's got to beat a 2. He's got it. So Waltrip to the bottom group and Kulwicki up into 12th place with that Hooters Ford. Leroy Yarborough, no. Kozlowski, no. David Pearson, yes. Number 5 even, that is Kevin Harvick. He's got to beat a 2, and he doesn't. Ty goes to the defender. Harvick hangs on. Neil Bonnet, no. Harry Gant, no. Finally, Bobby Labonte, no. And that's it. That's the end of the turn. So some movement, some action here. And we saw Earnhardt get sent down. We saw a couple other drivers get sent down. All right, next turn. No draft. It's another dual 8. Number 6 cars in the middle group. That's Benny Parsons and Lee Petty. Okay, here we go. We'll start with Parsons. He needs a 4. He doesn't get it. So Cale Yarborough is going to get a performance chip. And now Parsons has to avoid an escape. He does. Lee Petty now. He's got it, and it was against Bobby Isaac. So Lee Petty all the way up to 2nd place in his number 42 Plymouth. And Bobby Isaac's got to roll to stay safe. He's not. He's collected. So Parsons moves up. Bobby Labonte is going to have another chance to get up to the middle group. And he's got it. So now Bobby Isaac needs to roll a 7, is a C. And we're still in the first third, so he needs to roll a 9 or less to stay in the race, and he'll get it with ease. So that's the end of that turn. So a couple of duels early in this race. And we roll on. No major accidents yet. Nothing. I'm actually going to move these cards over and kind of put the die here because it's probably hard to see the die with all the colors and everything going on. So no duel. Or excuse. Oh shoot. Yeah, that was a. We'll re-roll that. Okay. So no draft. 3 is going to be the middle group, and the quality we're looking for is star quality. Bobby Labonte's got it. And he is going against Richard Petty when he's got to beat a 1, 2, 3. He's got to beat a 4. He ties it. That's not good enough. So, nope. Who else is a star? Wow, no one's a star. Okay, Terry Labonte, his brother, is. He's going against Jeff Gordon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to beat a 4. 1 won't do it. And Buddy Baker, last chance. I don't think that beats anyone new, especially not Lee Petty. So, all unsuccessful challenges. So, the top group stays intact. And now we've reached the final turn before our first pit of the race. No draft. It's another duel. Fume Feud. Okay, I don't play the Fume Feud. That's just me. I know it's probably against the rules. I don't play it. All I do is I keep the duel intact and I roll again, and it's an 11. So that's going to be the number 3 cars in the middle group. So that is going to be Rexford and Kowicki are going to try and duel to get to the top group. So we'll start with Rexford. He's got it, and he took out Jeff Gordon doing it. So our TB driver is up into 6th place and a performance chip. The Golden Boy's got to try and escape with the 7. He doesn't do it. Gordon gets in a wreck. So here's Kowicki now. See what happens to Alan Kowicki. He doesn't get it, and that's going to be a blue chip to Richard Petty. You don't want to give one to the king. He just did. Now Kowicki's got to escape with less than a 7, and he does. Rolls doubles. Everybody moves up. Down here in the middle group. Let's see who comes up from the bottom group. Harry Gantz, the first try. He needs a 4. He's got it. And now let's see Jeff Gordon in the pits. He's got a B pit crew. So he needs a 10 or less to stay in the race. And he barely gets it. But he will be in last place. So some fireworks, some big name drivers are falling like flies early in this race. The running of the greatest Daytona 500 of all time. All right, time for a pit stop. First pit of the race. It is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Top and middle group. Wow. Top and middle group. And we rolled doubles. So the 5s have trouble. The 5s have trouble. So that's going to be Bill Rexford, Benny Parsons, and Carl Edwards. They're all in trouble. So it's the escape rating, Bill Rexford. So he needs a 6. He gets it. So he's fine. Edwards a 9. Oh, he just gets it. I rolled the wrong die, but we'll count it. That's a 9. Parsons needs an 8, and he's got it. So everybody's fine. Everybody's okay. Now we roll for fast pits. Start with our leader. Buck Baker needs an 8. He's got it. Lee Petty needs an 8. Got it. Tim Flock needs an 8. Doesn't get it. Richard Petty needs a 10. He's got it. Cale Yarborough a 9. Got it. Bill Rexford a 5. Doesn't have it. Joe Weatherly a 7. Doesn't have it. Buddy Baker a 6. Yep. Terry Labonte an 8. No. Curtis Turner a 6. No. Mark Martin a 6. Yes. Alan Kowicki a 7. No. Truex a 7. Yes. Chase Elliott a 6. Yes. Harvick a 7. No. Edwards a 6. Yes. Benny Parsons a 7. No. Bobby Labonte. No. Harry Gant. Yes. All right. So they've all been doled out. Now we need to reorder by performance chips coming out of the pit. So the top group gets a little rearranging here. And the middle group's going to get quite a bit of rearranging as in comes Martin. Then Truex and Elliott. And then Edwards and Gant are going to move up. So Labonte moves back. Harvick moves back. Turner moves back. So this is your new order. So you order them according to performance chips. All right, so that's the first pit of the race. And let me just fix my clock over here to make sure my camera doesn't, I'm still looking for someone to give me a little help on this. Sorry to kind of ruin the flow here, but it is driving me absolutely insane that my top camera, it's a Canon, my top camera only lets me record video in 30-minute increments. I mean, it will literally cut off. So I literally have to keep a timer over here to make sure that I never go over 30 minutes, because I've had that happen before where I just keep yapping and I forget about it. And then I get to my editing bay and I realize, There's about 30 minutes missing. So if anyone could tell me if they have that camera, it's a Canon once again, if you could tell me how to stop that, I would be really, really grateful, because it is very, very annoying to deal with when I make these videos. I would much rather just hit record and go for as long as it takes and edit after the fact instead of doing these awkward breaks. But I digress. If anyone has any tips or anything or knows a workaround, let me know. But we race on. We have a draft, and it's going to be 4. So 4 is the middle group. So Buddy Baker is going to try and get the draft started. No, he doesn't. So no draft. So we ignore the draft. He needed a 5. All right, so we are looking at this middle group, and it's an 11, and that's Heat. That is Heat. Who's got it? Who's got it? Benny Parsons has it. 1, 2. He needs to beat a 2, 3. Nope, won't get it. Who else has Heat? Curtis Turner? No. Terry Labonte? That might do it. 1, 2. He's got him beat, so Rexford's going to have to spend that performance chip to hold the position. Harry Gant? No. Almost rolls trips. Chase Elliott? 1, 2, 3. He doesn't have him beat, but he's got a performance chip that he's going to use. So Chase Elliott all the way up to the top group. And wouldn't that be something? The last time I broadcasted a Daytona race, Chase Elliott won, and he won going away. Wouldn't that be funny if he won the greatest Daytona 500 of all time? Okay, Martin Truex. Oh, he doesn't have it. No one else has it, so I rolled for no reason. All right, so that's the end of that turn. Buck Baker still leading this race, and we are on turn number 9. No one else has led this race yet, and he's got 2 performance chips. So we'll see. No draft. 5, that's going to be bottom group. 9er, that's trouble. Uh-oh, trouble in the bottom group. So let's see what happens here. You know, I don't have my problem chart, so I hope a problem doesn't come up. Otherwise, I will have to pause the video to get the problem chart. Well, trouble is we could have a huge wreck here, so we will go car by car. So I'm going to kind of do this backwards. We will go car by car to see which drivers are in trouble. So Neil Bonnet needs a 7. He's fine. David Pearson an 8. Fine. Kozlowski a 7. Fine. Leroy Yarbrough a 7. Fine. Just hit it on the nose. DW needs a 9. He's good. Kyle Larson a 6. There's 1 collected. Kenseth an 8. No, he's good. Earnhardt Jr. an 8. No, Jr. gets caught in a wreck, so we will have a caution now because 2 cars have been collected, but we got to keep going. Ned Jarrett a 9. He's collected. Clint Boyer an 8. Collected. Oh, it's a big wreck. Ricky Rudd a 7. He's fine. Jim Paschal an 8. Good. Fred Lorenzen a 6. Good. Junior Johnson a 6. No good. He's collected. Herb Thomas a 6. Collected. Bill Elliott a 9. Collected. Wow. Daytona claiming a bunch of cars here. Kurt Busch collected. Dale Jarrett collected. Oh, wow. Bobby Allison, fine. Earnhardt, good. The Intimidator's fine. Davey Allison, an 8. He's fine. Couple more left. Rex White, an 8. Fine. Bobby Isaac, a 7. No, not fine. And again, I kind of fat-fingered it a little bit, so hopefully the order stayed intact. Last card, JG, a 7. He's fine. Whew, all right, so half the bottom group involved in that accident. So it claimed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 vehicles get claimed. So we will mark off 1 for the lap and 2 for the caution. And now we need to find out who. So we'll reverse this order because we're going to go in kind. We're going to find out who can stay in this race. Still in the first third of the race, so everyone should be okay if you have a decent pit crew. Well, Kyle Larson's got a D, so he needs an 8. No, Kyle Larson is out of the Daytona 500. So Larson is out. I'll mark that down on the score sheet. So we'll put down big crash on lap 9. Claim 10 cars. So Larson's out. Junior needs a 10. He is fine. So he can go back to the bottom group. Ned Jarrett needs an 11. He is fine. Boyer a B. He needs a 10. And for those of you wondering, on the new mats, they moved the repair rolls and the duals off to the side over here. It used to be up top. Now it's over here. I've already had to train my eyes a couple times. Remember that. Junior Johnson needs an 8. He'll get it right on the nose. He could stay in. Herb Thomas needs a 10. Whew, just barely gets it. Bill Elliott, an 11. He is in. Kurt Busch, a 10. He's fine. Dale Jarrett, also a 10. Fine. And Bobby Isaac, a C, which is a 9. He is fine. So Kyle Larson is the only driver that gets totaled in this race, and he is out of the greatest Daytona 500 of all time. So tough break for the young man in the number 5 Chevrolet. So Kyle Larson out of the running of this race, and we race on. After 2 laps of caution, everyone's bunched back up, and let's go green again. No draft. That's going to be the top group. 9 is trouble in the top group now. Oh, no. So we start with Buck Baker. Well, all these drivers have, or half of these drivers have performance chips that they could use to stay out of it. So let's see. Needs a 10. He's fine. Lee Petty needs an 8. He doesn't get it, so he's going to have to spend 1 to avoid trouble. Richard Petty needs a 7. He's okay. Kel Yarborough is 7. He's okay. Rexford is 6. He's okay. Tim Flock an 8. He's collected. Chase Elliott is 7. He's fine. So only Tim Flock involved in that wreck. Must have spun out and hit the wall on his own. Let's just roll for his repair real fast. He needs a 10. He'll get it. So from 6th place to 42nd. That's tough. That is tough. All right, so now let's... Buddy Baker, oh, he doesn't get to come up. Mark Martin doesn't get to come up. Martin Truex doesn't get to come up. Joe Weatherly will make the push and get to the top group. I suppose they could have used, and you know what? Let's do that. Buddy Baker's going to use that performance chip, and he is going to come up. Sorry, Joe Weatherly. So he will come up. Everyone else moves up. So Edwards will go to down here. And now we'll find out who comes up from the bottom. First candidate, Neil Bonnet. He needs a 4. He's got it. And mark off the lap. I'm going to take a quick timeout and reset the cameras that I was talking about. And we will come back for more Daytona 500 action. All right, we're back. Next lap. No draft. It's top group again, 5. TV drivers. There's only one. That's Bill Rexford. So Buck Baker may have to use one of those skills. Well, he's got him on brake bonus anyway. So Rexford cannot get around Buck Baker. And Buck Baker has led every single lap of this race. I don't want to call this a disappointing race because it's not disappointing by any means, but no challenges really for that lead. No draft again. We're in the bottom group again. 2, that's rare. No, I don't. Do I have my rare handy? No, I don't. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do this off the cuff. I forgot my rare chart, so I'm going to have to dig into my game here to grab it. I apologize. I should have had this prepared. So So let's get our rare chart out. And you know, I sort of spoke it into existence. If you recall a couple minutes ago, I said, man, I hope we don't get a problem or a rare result. Lo and behold, like two rolls later, we get one. Okay, rare results. So it was a rare result in the bottom group. So let's roll and find out. So this could be really good or really bad. First, let's find the driver. Okay, let's find who it's going to be. 55. So that's driver number 17. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Our lucky driver is Junior Johnson. So what happens to Junior Johnson? Let's roll the rare results. 56. A black flag. Oh! Black flag. So Junior Johnson is black flag for smoking vehicle, and he is sent to the end of the bottom. Oh no! So Junior Johnson, he thought he was getting some good luck. It turns out he's getting bad luck. He's into the bottom. He's at the very bottom. Wow. Oh boy. All right. Move on. No draft again. 3 is the middle group. 5 is TV drivers. And it's Martin Truex, our only TV driver. So let's see what happens. And he blew his brake or his gas pedal, and he was going after Yarbrough, so he can't even spend anything to get past him. And just like that, we've come up on our second pit of the race. Wow, a lot of weird stuff in this one, but that's racing. All right, so it's going to be the middle group pitting. 1 and 3 will swap places. So Yarbrough and Lee Petty swap. Mark Martin and Martin Truex swap with Harry Gant and Alan Kulwicki. And now we got to find our performance chips and our fast pits here for our middle group. So here we go. Gant. Got it. Kulwicki. No. Weatherly. Yes. Edwards, yes. Martin, yes. Martin Truex, yes. Terry Labonte, yep. Curtis Turner, yep. And I'm almost out of performance chips. Harvick, yes. Benny Parsons, yes. Bobby Labonte, no. Neil Bonnet, yes. I'm going to have to remember Bonnet's got one. Bonnet's got one. Okay, so now reorder everyone with a performance chip. Well, no one moved up here, so we got to go down here. So Weatherly and Edwards move up. Martin and Truex, so even though they swapped, they will move up. So I'll just put them down here. Well, Martin's going to go here. Truex is going to just move up to 12th place. Labonte. Wow, yeah, so Kulwicki is going to drop like a brick in water. Man, all right. Tough break for Alan Kulwicki. He drops down to 17th place. And that's the end of that pit. Already coming up to roughly half of the race here. No draft. It's another duel. 5 is number 5 in the top group. That's Chase Elliott for the lead. He's got it. So Buck Baker is going to have to hold him off. Well, yeah, so Elliott earns a performance chip, but Baker spends it to keep it. So that's why I took it from him. But now he's got to avoid the escape, and he's fine. So he doesn't need to use that second one, and that's the end of the turn. So Elliott effectively gets himself a performance chip. But he can't take the lead. So Buck Baker's still in the lead here. And we're about halfway through. He's led every lap of the race except that very first lap. He dropped down to 6th and got right back to the lead. Unbelievable. All right, we got a draft in the middle group. So before we make our move, Harry Gant, he's going to start the draft. Is Weatherly going to go with him? No! So no draft. Okay, so we're looking for 4. That's reflex quality. Neil Bonnet's got it. He is going for Richard Petty, and Richard Petty's got him beat all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4. He doesn't even need to use a performance chip. And remember, Bonnet has a chip, but it doesn't matter because Petty's going to hold him off anyway. Reflex. Alan Kowicki's got it. He's going for Cal Yarborough. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Harvick doesn't pass gas, but maybe he could use that chip. It's against Chase Elliott. It would just wash out, so no. Curtis Turner, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. No. They both have chips, so that'll be a wash. Mark Martin, yes, he's got it. Actually, I skipped Truex. He's got it. 4. Wow, look at that. One TV driver passes another. Truex is up to 5th place. Rexford down to 12th. Mark Martin now. And going after Yarborough. 1, 2, 3. He doesn't have them beat. They each have 2 performance chips. Maybe, yeah, I guess he'll make them spend one just to make them spend it. And let's give one to Neil Bonnet just to kind of make these cars a little bit weaker. You know, you think of it almost like tire wear. You know, he's wearing down his tires trying to hold them off. All right, so 5. That's Chase Elliott again. 1. Oh, that's going to beat him. And look at this. Carl Edward, he's going to break the bank and pass him anyway. So Edward says, screw it. I'm going for broke. This is the greatest Daytona 500 ever. And I'm going after him. I'm spending all I got. Weatherly now doesn't pass gas, but he's going for Lee Petty. So that's not going to work. And finally, Harry Gant. 4. That's Truex. 1, 2. He's got him beat. Does he make him spend these to get? No, it's only 3 spots. So I don't quite think it's really worth it for him to spend all that. So we're gonna let that go, and we're gonna race on. I'm actually doing a little bit of double time here, just in the best interest of time. So I'm marking off at 2 to 3 turns every turn now, and then the last like 5 laps or so, I'll do it normally. I'm doing this in the best interest of time. I don't want a long 2-hour video, so I'm trying to make it a little bit quicker, and I think it makes it a little bit more exciting. All right, top group 4. That's reflex. So the number you have to beat is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need a 6. You need a 6 to beat Buck Baker. Can we get our first lead change of the race? Official lead change. That's not going to do it. Truex. That's not going to do it, but he's going to make him spend it. And actually, Truex can spend and take the lead. So that's it for Buck Baker. Finally, after 22 laps, doesn't have the lead anymore. All right, Lee Petty now. Doesn't pass gas, but he's going to use it. So for one fleeting moment, Truex was in the lead, but now it's going to be Lee Petty. And his son, Richard Petty, he's got him the old-fashioned way. Didn't even need to use it, so the king takes the lead at the Daytona 500. And, oh, man, I think I saw, and let's just finish this turnout. 1, so it's going to take a 6 to beat him. That's not good enough. Cal's going to make him spend it, but Richard's going to hold him off. So a lot of performance chips expended on those turns. But finally, we have a new leader, and it comes at turn number 23. And it is who else? Richard Petty, the king, now leading the Daytona 500. And that's interesting because, well, I think he won 6 or 7 Daytona 500s in real life. And if I'm not mistaken, when Keith was showing off the 75th anniversary set, I'm pretty sure Richard Petty won that race too. Just unbelievable. All right, let's roll on here. Another draft. This one's in the top group. So let's see if Cal can get a draft started. Yes. Is Lee Petty going to go with him? Yes. But Richard Petty is going to spend that token to hold off the draft, so let's not even proceed further. So Richard Petty, you can spend performance chip to hold off the draft. And now he's going to take his chances with... Oh, it's a trouble! I didn't even realize this. Oh, wow. Trouble in the top group. And no one's got performance chips up here. Oh, boy. This is about to get really interesting. He needs a 7. He's okay. Yarbrough a 7. He's okay. Lee Petty an 8. No! Lee Petty collected. Truex a 7. Collected. Oh, boy. Buck Baker. So now we have an official caution. Buck Baker, fine. Edwards, no, he's collected. So now we've got a cascade. Oh, no. I'll explain that in just a second. Buddy Baker, a 7. He's fine. So now a cascade. If you get 3 or more drivers in the top group, and I think it's 6 or more drivers in the middle group, that wreck, it cascades to the next group. So we got 3 drivers in the top group that wrecked. So this wreck is going to cascade down into the middle group. Gant, he's fine. Weatherly, he's fine. Chase Elliott, fine. Mark Martin, fine. All right, so far so good. Rexford's fine. Terry Labonte, fine. Curtis Turner, not fine, but he's going to spend to avoid. Harvick, fine. Benny Parsons, he's okay. Kelwicki, no, he gets collected. Bobby Labonte, yes, he's good. And Neil Bonnet. So this will not cascade into the bottom group. But, oh boy, another wreck at Daytona. So this one claims 4 drivers are wrecked in this one. So 4-driver wreck on lap 24. So I'll mark 2 quick laps. Like I said, I'm kind of doing double time and then 2 more laps for caution. And there's going to be a pit stop in here too. So because it's a caution, everyone just moves up in order. So there's no challenging. So we're going to have basically an all-new top and middle group. Mark Martin up to 8th. Rexford to 9th. Labonte in 10th. Turner 11th. Harvick here in 12th. This is Benny Parsons. Bobby Labonte and Neil Bonnet. And then from the bottom group, we get 4 cars coming up. And it's going to be David Pearson, Brad Keselowski, Leroy Yarbrough, and Darrell Waltrip. And now we are in the middle third of this race. So we need to see, we'll go in reverse order because that's the order they came in the wreck. So Lee Petty's got an A, so he needs a 9. So he could stay in. They're able to fix up his car. Truex needs a 7. Ooh, that's it. Martin Truex is out. Our TV driver. Our second driver that is out of this race. Edwards needs a 9. He's good. And finally, Kulwicki needs a 7. And, Alan Kulwicki is out of the Daytona 500. So now we pit. Since the caution, we missed a pit. So we'll pit now. And it's going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, both. It's going to be both groups. 1 and 3 switch. Wow, 1 and 3 again. So Mark Martin again. That guy can't catch a break. That's the second time he was in that 1 group and had to drop to the 3 group. But it is both groups here getting a chance to pit. So let me just grab all the performance chips that I have left here. And let's start doing this fast pit. Oh, man, stuff flying all over the place here. Okay. Needs a 10. Yep. So no lead change. Baker, no. Other Baker. Buck Baker, Buddy Baker. Didn't even realize that. Baker. Yarbrough. Yes. Harry Gant. No. Weatherly. Yep. Chase Elliott. No. Harvick. Yep. Benny Parsons. No. Terry Labonte. Yes. Curtis Turner. Yes. Mark Martin. No. Bill Rexford. No. Bobby Labonte. No. Neil Bonnet. No. David Pearson. No. Keselowski. Yes. Leroy Yarbrough, yes. And finally, Darrell Waltrip, yes. So now we reorder. So Buddy Baker basically is the only victim in the top group. Victim of his crew. Didn't give him a fast pit. And now down here, Neil Bonnet. Let's just move these cars. Oh my, it's so slippery. I need to get like a better playing surface because I'm playing on basically like a picnic table down here. So I need like a rubber something to hold these together. I think I did that the right way. Yeah, I think so. Okay, let me just check my clock here for a moment. Okay. We're good on the camera change. All right, let's get back to racing. No draft. 4 is the middle group. 7 is the star quality. So Pearson. Oh, he rolled trips. He's got a problem. Pearson's got a problem. Let's see what it is. 34. Tight on track, drop to the front of the bottom. So he only loses, wow, that's it. Look at this. He only loses 1 position, and he's going to get the challenge to come right back up, and he does. So, wow, I've never seen that. And I played a lot of this game. I've never seen that happen. So he dropped to the bottom group, but then came right back up. That's pretty amazing. All right, Bobby Labonte. He's a star. Sorry. Skill. We're looking for skill. He's got skill too. He's going after Yarbrough. 1, 2. It's going to take 3 to beat him. He only ties him. That's not good enough. Bill Rexford. Oh, that'll beat Cal Yarbrough, but he's going to use the performance chip. Darrell Waltrip. That will beat Chase Elliott. So Elliott drops from 7th to 16th. And look at Darrell Waltrip. From the bottom to the middle, now in 7th place here. Leroy Yarbrough. Let's see. And that will beat Harry Gant. So he's going to have to use. He's going to have to burn. So there goes everyone's performance chip. But Harry Gant hangs on. I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. 8. Skill. We're looking for skill. Keselowski has it. 1, 2. He's got him. Look at this. Relatively speaking, the young man, Brad Keselowski, is up into the top group now. So some of the more modern drivers starting to come back here. Neil Bonnet. He's got it. Going after DW. 1, 2. He's got him beat. But look, and he's going to, wow, they're going to spend their performance chips, and Bonnet is going to get past Waltrip and move up. Here's Mark Martin. No, he can't pass Gas, but he's got the performance chip, and he's going to get past Harry Gant anyway. Mark Martin up into 4th place. Terry Labonte. Look at this. Terry Labonte's going to get the position right back from Mark Martin, and he doesn't need to use the performance chip. Benny Parsons. And look at this. All sorts of passing going on. Benny Parsons into 2nd place. Finally, Kevin Harvick. Harvick's going to make the pass on Cal Yarbrough. So a whole new top group here as we are down to the final 15 laps of this race. Well, actually, 20 laps. So he's still got a little ways to go here. Really, it's going to be about 7 turns because I'm doing double time. Wow. All right, let's keep it going. No draft. Middle group again. Heat now. Heat check in the middle group. Who's got heat? Pearson's got it, and that's a W against Keselowski, but he'll spend the chip to hang on. Who else? Bill Rexford's got it. That'll beat Neil Bonnet, so Rexford back into the top group. Chase Elliott, that he didn't pass Gas. Harry Gant. Oh, he's got Harvick, but Harvick's going to spend to hold him off. Curtis Turner. No, not enough. Not enough, and he's not going to make him spend either. Double heat for Buck Baker. He's going against Kozlowski. He's got him beat. So Buck Baker back into the top group. And no, Cale Yarborough doesn't have it. So mark off our turns and let's play on. No draft. Bottom group 3, that's Star, hold on. Use trouble if it's the last 4 turns. It's not the last 4 turns. So we're looking for the star quality. Star quality. Carl Edwards, no. Lee Petty, no. Junior Johnson, yes. So that's going to be odd in the number 6. That's Pearson. He's got 1, 2, 3. So nope. He doesn't beat him. Bobby Isaac's a star. No, doesn't pass gas. Dale Jarrett's a star. He doesn't pass gas. Kurt Busch, no. Bill Elliott, yes, he's a star. It's going to be 6 even. That's Bobby Labonte. He's got to beat a 1, 2. He's got to beat a 3. He does. Bill Elliott into the middle group. Herb Thomas, no. Clint Boyer, yes. 1 even. That's Cale Yarborough. 1, 2. He's got him beat. Clint Boyer up to 8th place. Ned Jarrett. 3 odd. 1. Wait. No, he's got him. He's only got 1. DW's only got 1. So Ned Jarrett is up to 13th. Here's Junior. He's a double star. That's going to be number 1 even. That's Clint Boyer. 1, 2. He doesn't have him beat, but he gets to roll again. 5 odd. That is going to be Neil Bonnet. 1. He's got to beat a 2, and he can't beat that. No, Junior cannot make a successful pass. Here's Jeff Gordon. Gordon passes gas. He's going for 1 even. That's Boyer. 1. You got to beat a 2, and he's got that going away. So Jeff Gordon started, I believe, in 7th place. Been in the bottom group for most of this race. He is back to the middle group. Davey Allison, 5 even. He's got to go against Chase Elliott, and he's got him. Davey Allison gets past Chase Elliott. Rex White, no. And here's Dale Earnhardt. You better believe he is a double star. Oh, no, he's got a problem. Oh, no, Earnhardt. A 52. Hopefully it's not bad. Clutch problems. Roll for repairs. If it's pit crews in A, no problems. All right, so he's got no problems. So he gets to roll again. Oh, wow. What a narrow escape from the Intimidator. 6 odd. That's David Pearson. 1. Oh, he can't beat him. So Earnhardt, just horrible luck today for the Intimidator. 4 odd. That's Leroy Yarborough. 1's not going to do it. Fred Lorenzen. 2 odd. Curtis Turner. He's got him beat, but Turner's going to spend the chip. Jim Paschal, no. Ricky Rudd, no. Matt Kenseth, the last challenger in the bottom group. 1 odd. He's going after Kozlowski. He needs to beat a 1, and he's got that going away. So very interesting turn there. Some interesting stuff. And once again, and I'm going to keep complaining about it till someone helps me in the comments, I got to pause and switch the camera. So I'll be back in 1 second. All right. In the best interest of time, we're going to run just the final. We're going to do 1 more pit stop, and we're going to run just 5 more turns of this race. I know, I'm sorry, but I realized I took a break and I had to charge up the cameras again and get everything reset. And I realized the video is already well over an hour long. So let's do our final pit stop of the race here, and then we're going to do 5 more turns. And I think we got a pretty good even field here to find our 5 turns. Every driver in every group has had an opportunity thus far. So this is going to be both. Oh, no, it's another problem, and it's the cars in the 3. Well, Terry Labonte he's gonna use that performance chip, and he's gonna be fine. But Harry Gant, I'm sorry, I have to roll a problem. I've been doing that wrong, I realized as well. I have to roll for a problem, not for an escape. So 45, the problem is radiator damage. Roll for repair. So Gant is going to have to roll for repair. And it's a D in the final third, so he needs a 3. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's it. Harry Gant is out of the race. And again, I apologize for kind of cutting it a little early, but I'm not a big fan of very, very long videos. I don't think you are either. So we're going to cut the Daytona 500 just a little bit short, but I still think we're going to get a lot of excitement here in the last 5 laps or so. All right, Ned Jarrett. Oh, sorry. What is his problem? His is a 43 that is overheating. Roll for repair. But if he's got an A pit crew, it doesn't happen. So he's fine. So let's move everybody up. Let's move everybody up. Who's going to challenge? It's going to be Brad Keselowski. Needs a 4. He's in. And now we do our final pit stop of the race. And it is everybody. Everybody's pitting. Everybody in the top 2 groups, that is. So let's get everybody out here. Okay, here we go. Richard Petty, no. Benny Parsons, yes. Harvick, yes. Labonte, yes. Weatherly, yes. Buck Baker, yes. Bill Rexford, no. Jeff Gordon, yes. Kenseth, nope. Mark Martin, yep. Curtis Turner, no. Ned Jarrett, no. Fast Pit Buddy Baker, yes. Leroy Yarbrough, no. Davey Allison, no. Neil Bonnet, yep. Bill Elliott, yep. David Pearson, yep. And finally, Brad Keselowski, no. So let's reorder. Nothing in the top group. Mark Martin moves up. Buddy Baker moves up. Yep. Bill Elliott's going to come down here. And so is David Pearson. So, and so is Neil Bonnet. So it's going to look like that. Everyone else is going to move back. Like, oh, whoops. Again, the slippery table. Okay, here we go. All right. Everybody's set. That was the final. Pit of the race. So now 5 more turns to go. So let me just mark that off as if we're in the final 5 turns again. I apologize. And we'll do it fair. So if there's a caution, it's not going to count towards the 5 laps. How's that for a compromise? All right, here we go. 5 to go. 3 is going to be the middle group. 11, that's heat. That's heat. Who's got heat? Who's got heat? Ned Jarrett does. Ooh, that's going to be a winner. But it's against Harvick, so he's going to have to spend. Curtis Turner. I don't think that gets it done, especially against Terry Labonte. So, no. Who else has heat here? David Pearson does. That's against Terry Labonte again. It's going to take a 3-4 to beat him, and he doesn't. But he's going to make him spend it, as everyone is just going all out here in the final few laps of this race. And that's it for heat. So 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go. No draft. Top group 9. Top group 9. That's trouble. Oh, no. Trouble in the top group. Richard Petty. He's fine. Benny Parsons. Fine. Kevin Harvick, fine. Terry Labonte, fine. Joe Weatherly, fine. Buck Baker, fine. So Bill Rexford, fine. Everybody's fine. So it ends up being a nothing burger. 3 laps to go. Here we go. It's a draft, and it's in the top group. But, well, first let's see if they can get one started. And they can't even get it started. So disregard the draft. Top group 6, that's control. So it's going to have to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to need a 6 to beat Richard Petty. Oh, he almost gets it, but not enough. Buck Baker, nope. Joe Weatherly, no. But he's going to make him spend. Oh, man. Terry Labonte doesn't have it. Kevin Harvick, could he be the leader? Yes, he can. because he's going to spend. So Kevin Harvick takes the lead at the Daytona 500. Benny Parsons beats him the old-fashioned way. Doesn't even need to use it. 2 laps to go. Look at this. Oh, boy. Fireworks here. It's another draft, but it's a duel. Let's re-roll it. I'm sorry. It's a duel. But first, before we do the duel, the draft is going to be the middle group. So Mark Martin's going to start. Or, I'm sorry, Jeff Gordon's going to start. He's got it. Mark Martin, can he follow? No, but he's going to spend to do it. You can spend to join a draft. Buddy Baker joins. Bill Elliott joins. David Pearson joins. Neil Bonnet, no, but he's going to spend to join. Oh, no. Let's see, how many cars is that? That's 6. One more, Kenseth. He doesn't get it anyway. But the farthest they can go is Buck Baker because he is going to spend to hold him off. So unfortunately, that means Bill Rexford is going to drop all the way down to 13th position because they only picked up 1 spot because Buck Baker, I guess it could have been 1 more. Yeah, it could have been 1 more because Gordon could have outdone him. And then Weatherly would have blocked him. So, sorry, Buck Baker. You are moving. So, let me just kind of explain what I did there really fast. So, Buck Baker used his chip to hold off the draft. But Gordon used his second chip to take the position anyway. And then Weatherly used it to hold it off yet again. And no one really the leader no longer had a draft chip. So, that's why we had that result. And now we have to do the duel, and it's 3. So the duel is the number 3 car in the top group. That's Terry Labonte. Can Terry Labonte win the Daytona 500? He's got it. So he will earn. Benny Parsons will use that to hold him off. So he will have 2 performance chips, and here we go. We have reached the final turn of the Daytona 500. No performance chip at the top. It is a top group challenge. That was a 2, so it's a 3. So we're looking for the star, and this says it's trouble if it's in the last 4 turns, but I'm going to ignore that. So it would be trouble in the top group, but we're not playing cautions or anything. So we're testing for the star to see who wins the Daytona 500. What is it going to take? It's only going to take a 3. But hold on. Mark Martin doesn't have it. JG's got it, and he gets it going away. Jeff Gordon's your new leader, but that's not going to hold because Joe Weatherly has it. Joe Weatherly spends. He takes the lead. Again, this is all on the final lap. Terry Labonte's a star. He beats him. Oh, wow. Terry Labonte might do it. Here's Richard Petty. Petty wins, but he has held off, so it's up to Harvick. Harvick doesn't have the star, so that's it. Terry Labonte wins the Daytona 500. Wow. Oh, what an unexpected finish. And yes, it was abbreviated, and yes, I made it go a little bit faster, but I don't care. That was exciting. Terry Labonte wins the greatest Daytona 500 of all time. Kevin Harvick gets 2nd. Richard Petty 3rd. Joe Weatherly 8th. Jeff Gordon 4th Joe Weatherly 4th in the number 8 car. Jeff Gordon 5th. Benny Parsons 6th. And Mark Martin in the number 6 takes home 7th position. Buddy Baker, Bill Elliott, Neil Bonnet, David Pearson, Buck Baker, Bill Rexford, Matt Kenseth, Curtis Turner, Ned Jarrett, Leroy Yarborough, Davey Allison, and Brad Keselowski round out your middle group. And that's it. That is the Daytona 500. This game is going to spend so much time on my table. Hell, I might rerun that race just for the hell of it. I mean, and do the full 50-lap race. Gosh, that was so much fun. Guys, go to Play Games, get your copy of the 75th anniversary set. I cannot find enough good things to say about this game. Excellent 10 out of 10 job by my friends over at Play Games. This thing is stunning. and it's even more fun to play with. Congratulations to Terry Labonte. You are the Daytona 500 champion, and congrats to the rest of the drivers, and thank you for watching another episode. We will see you next time. There's going to be a lot more of this game on our table. See you guys.